So just take us through this quarter. You're sticking by the full-year guidance, and I'm always drawn to the fact that if you've technically missed on your revenue and your sales are down ever so slightly, tell me why you're able to sort of steadfastly stand there and say, yep, I'm sticking by the full-year numbers.
Sure. First, good morning, Anna. Good morning, Manus. Thanks for having me. Yes, we definitely are sticking to the guidance. So when you look at the Q2 results, I would qualify them as solid. So first of all our businesses are continuing on their profitability improvement journey. LED-based sales grew by 14% in Q2. They now represent 63% of what we're selling. But now let's take a bit of distance on the growth profile of the company. We declined by 2.4% in the full year in 2016, and we have only declined by 1.3% in the first semester of 2017. So as you can see, the growth profile of the company is improving, and thus we are confirming that the company will return to growth in the second half of 2017. So as you can see, performing still while transforming the company.
OK, and Eric, can I ask you a little bit about how LED fits into that? This is part of the transformation of the entire sector, moving towards LED products. I was reading some research by both Jefferies and Citi, and both of them questioning whether LED will peak in 2020. What's your expectation for when we see a peak in that product line?
Yeah, this is effectively what the analysts are saying, and we are pretty much in line with them, but it's about non-connected LED lamps. So we see that market peaking around 2019 and 2020, but when it comes to connected lights, we see a fabulous potential ahead. Let me give you a hint. We've been, until the end of 2016, connecting 22 million light points. There are 26 billion light points in the world, so that potential is fabulous, and I think it will continue to attract growth.
Eric, the other thing that I just want a little bit more on, and something the analysts seem to be focused on, is the amount of money that you're spending on R&D. You talk about 63% being in LED at the moment. You talk about connectivity there, but where are you with your R&D budget? Because it's high, and one or two of the analysts think that this is something that the market is underestimating.
Well, we are slightly below 5% of the revenues spent in R&D. But when you look at what we had to build in the past years, we went from 4 or 5 years ago, an LED-based revenue that was just a few hundred million to more than 4 billion in 2016. So we had to grow that business, and we had to develop new offers. I can tell you that the offers that we're selling in 2017 have nothing in common to what we were selling, a few years ago. So we had to make sure that our R&D machine was capable to develop these offers. Let me give you a hint. We have been releasing on the market what we call Interact Office, which is a software which is remotely connecting all the lights in an office space. It brings not only savings, up to 70% of the energy consumption, but it also optimizes spaces and makes the people more productive at work. And that can only be done if we have the right level of investment in R&D, because innovation is one key element in our environment to differentiate our offer and to win.
Mm-hmm. OK, so that's the role of innovation in driving growth. What about M&A, Eric? I noticed the big story in your industry over the last couple of months, GE saying that after more than a century in the lighting business, of course, that they are getting out of lighting. I'm assuming you're not going to try and buy the whole of that, because that would be possibly run into trouble with regulators. Are you interested in any parts of that business? Because we understand it could be sold off in parts.
So first of all, as a company, we are a pure actor in the lighting industry. We are today the leading company in conventional lighting, but also in LED lighting and in connected lighting. And we have also an M&A strategy. We've been very clear. We are targeting potential luminaire companies that would come for consolidation on the market. Bricks for lighting systems, technological bricks, or eventually capabilities and platforms for services. So this is where we are focusing our M&A plans.
So you see nothing of interest in the GE portfolio then, just to be clear?
What if it's just lamps, and that needs still to be defined? That's not totally in line with what I've just said previously.
One thing which we're asking all CEOs, you're at the heart of it here, is Brexit, the impact. We understand it means very clearly about the decisions for CEOs in regards to banking and what they're doing. But for you, in terms of the pressure, the drop of the pound, the pressure on pricing, the transference to the UK customer, is that something that's now going to take place? Your perspective on the latest moves in terms of pricing power here in the UK?
So there are many different ways to look at the Brexit equation. So first of all, the uncertainty, around the negotiations are not extremely conducive for good business. So we feel that. We've been experiencing softer market conditions in the past 2 quarters, more on the professional side of the business. If we look at the consumer side of the business, with the launch of new offers on connected lighting system, what we call our Philips Hue offer, we've also have been extremely successful and enjoying growth, in UK. In UK, we have recently seen the launch of voice-activated devices from Amazon and Google, and that's also boosting our business because we need to make sure that we have cloud-to-cloud connection, between the voice-activated companies and our own offers. So we see that part of the business going quite fine. But the uncertainty is not conducive, as I was saying previously, and we have another issue that we need to tackle at this point in time. It's more on the side of our employees. They're not all UK employees, and, they wonder how their contract is going to look like, in the longer run. But at this point in time, we don't know. What I'm saying to people, we cannot try to guess what is not clear. So whenever things are going to be negotiated and we're going to be able to act, we will act. But what you need to know is in UK, we have a very long history of success. We have customers, we have employees, and we make sure that we support both.